Hello everybody, welcome to this playthrough for Rookie Division with the tournament win for the Coast to Coast tournament. The video here is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic. And before we start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and also visit golfclashtommy.com for more Golf Clash related content. You can become a master in tournaments by getting the best tournament text guides on the market. And that you get by going to patreon.com/golfclashtommy, link in the description down below. Tough tournament, especially with lower level clubs and, you know, with not being able to spend a bunch of special balls and stuff like that. It's going to be a -11 that's going to be par, meaning that hole 3 we cannot reach for the green in 2. So making a -11, you should be okay with that. Obviously, -12, -13, it's going to be that little extra spice, and then you will provide yourself with a good tiebreaker. Those players playing with superior clubs in Rookie have a massive advantage on especially hole number 8, in my opinion, but also when it comes to hole number 9 and, you know, hole number 3 as well in some sort. In the end though, check out the info box on the right hand side. You see the elevation for the drive, elevation for the second shot, then you do have the ball and the club that I do recommend to you to play for the specific hole that I then talk to. In the end, make sure that you comment in the comment section below if you do have any questions, and let's go to hole number 1. For hole number 1 here in Rookie Division, we are going to play very similar to the golden shot, playing with the blue ring by the rough line. I'm going to get back to that in a bit. 3.5 bar backspin, half a bar of left spin. And we're starting at the +1 yard mark, meaning as you can see that number that is by that green little box, that's the +1 yard mark that we're looking for. Maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment. And then we're going to after the adjustment, we're going to take our shot. The thing that we do need to have in mind here, that the accuracy is going to change depending on what type of backbone that you are using. And the thing that you're going to have in mind is that when you're playing with a backbone level 7 or level 8, you are going to use a 0.8 left spin with blue ring by the bunker. And when it comes to backbone level 6 and level 5, you are going to play with 1 bar of left spin instead, as the rings are a little bit bigger, and therefore you're going to have to move yourself a little bit more right to find the blue ring by the bunker line. That's why this hole is going to be a bit more trickier when it comes to playing in Rookie. For hole number 2, we are using the quarterback as a driver. This for its accuracy and the decent ball guideline. Using a power 1 ball, so we do not have to push up at that, so we do not have to go with overpower. 3 bars of topspin. If you have more topspin, use more topspin. Like the most you can get is close to 5 bars of topspin with the quarterback level 10. We start at max distance, and we really want to make sure that the ball guideline, the tip of it, is pointing in between the 2 rough lines on the top there. Very, very important. Once we are done, we push up our target into max, and we are adjusting the drive with maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment. The thing I could advise you on here as well is that when you are using this shot, you need to play with max right side spin, which is 2.5 bar together with its top spin. Second shot, we're going to play uphill. And how do you know it's uphill? You're going to notice that when you take your shot. So that's why the ball is going to be affected less by the wind. The -10%, and we're going to play this one medium distance numbers, which is going to be a little bit too much. But at the same time, when we adjust for such a little amount of wind, it's very hard to see where is the bullseye. You can see that it's very blurry, so it could be that we are spot on, but we are adjusting a little bit too much into the bullseye zone, and may therefore make an over adjustment without knowing that we're making an over adjustment. No spin, bounce up towards the pin, and we're going to hopefully make an eagle here more times than we're going to make a birdie. This is going to be a very important hole to drop if you're going to see yourself playing for the top spots in this division. For hole number 3, we're going to lay up just before the rough and the sand. The closer the better, and the thing that I'm gonna do is that I'm going to use the driver with the most power so I can actually use the backspin. Not 2.5 bar backspin, I'm gonna use 1 bar of backspin. And that will give me a very nice little distance here for my drive. And we are in maximum distance, which means that we're going to adjust maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment. Once taking that shot, we're going to look how lovely the ball is flying through the air and get up there to the top. And that's going to give ourselves a nice little distance. You have noticed that I've been playing this hole with a Marlin most of the times, but now I'm playing with a Titan. And I think the valuable thing to have in mind that if you can afford to play with a Titan, that's going to be the best one, because then we do not need to go with any overpower for the second shot. But if we do not want to spend a Titan and we might just play with, we want to spend a power 0 ball, then we can do that instead. The difference is that now for the second shot with a power 0 ball, or even power 1 and power 2, you need to go with overpower. So now with a power 3 ball, we don't have to go with overpower. Just make sure that we do hit a perfect. Ball bounce on the fairway, getting it up there towards the bunker, and it's going to leave ourselves up for a long iron towards the pin. So, the long iron here is going to be played on the right hand side of the green, meaning that I'm going to use the back end of the green and the right side to make the ball go up and fall back down. No elevation for the third shot, and I'm not using any elevation for the second shot either. I'm using 4.5 bar topspin and 2 bars of side spin to the left, and you can see the ball comes up nicely, fall back down. We have a good speed, but we are a little bit too much to the right. In the end, you know, you can approach this hole in different type of ways here on hole number 3 for the second shot. The thing is though, I think there is a very glitchy spot when using the fringe. That's why I use the back end of the green, trying to get the ball to fall back down. Better ball guideline you're having, the easier the third shot is gonna be. Hole number 4, we're playing once again a par 4, where it's going to be important to make a good drive. And if we make a good drive, we have a good opportunity making an eagle. 4.5 bar topspin, we're using 2.5 bar side spin to the right. We're not in entirely max distance, so have that in mind, that we're just looking for the yellow ring to be just have a little gap between the rough and the sand at the back, and then obviously we're focusing on the tip of the ball guideline, so the second bounce is clearly above the rough. Maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment, and once we have done the adjustment, we are not pushing up anything. For the second shot, we have straight tailwind. We have a very good opportunity to making an eagle here, and now we obviously need to hit perfect. We're going to use the fairway before the fringe and the green. And the reason we're going to do that is to give ourselves the best possible, or like the best consistent landing spot here for our shot. And you can see that I deliberately aim for the tip of the ball guideline to be slightly right side of pin. That's because we do have a slight little slope coming right to left on that green, and therefore we need to do that. Unfortunately, I do hit great on this hole. Or like on this shot, otherwise we would definitely be getting that one in for a nice eagle. But great balls will never be good if you have a perfect adjustment. The only time a great ball goes in is if we have a bad adjustment. For hole number 5, we're going to use the Saturn, and the Saturn is going to be used if you have it in level 5 plus. And the reason we're not going to use it if it's in a lower level is because it does not have the backspin enough. Now when we're playing with the Saturn, we're going to use the backspin that we do have and then aiming directly at the pin. Now you can see that I'm aiming, you know, a little bit to the right of the pin, and we need to correct that and aim directly at the pin. Using here a Marlin ball because we don't really need to use anything else, but I'm gonna have a little tweak for you in the end of this version of hole 5 to explain what you can do if you don't have the backspin as a Saturn level 5 plus is having. Maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment, so even though we're not in maximum distance, we're using maximum distance numbers because we're adjusting from a lower point to a higher point. Okay, so let's say you do not have the backspin as a Saturn is having. Let's say you have 4.5 bar backspin, which backbone generally is having. Then you can use a more wind resistance ball, like a Navigator, like a Kingmaker, reduce the wind so the wind does not give you that much effect as it's given when we play with a wind, a Power Zero wind 1 ball. And therefore you can fool it a little bit there and have better go with less backspin, but preferably play with a Saturn here on hole number 5. For hole number 6, we're going to play on the left-hand side. The reason we're going to do that is because with the 4.5 bar topspin, we will not be able to reach over the rough on the right-hand side without clipping it. So the thing that we're going to do is that we're going to use a power 2 ball. Not so much for the drive, but especially for the second shot. You're going to notice why. 3 bars of topspin, and we're using a hefty amount of side spin to the left as well. Most important part though, you need to have the second bounce centered into the fairway island up there on the left. That's your focus. Very important. Maximum distance with a 20% over adjustment, and then it's time to take your shot. Once taking the shot, hitting that ball perfect, you are going to notice that this ball is going to get into a nice little distance here. And we are going to find ourselves in a bowl-like area on that fairway, which means that with a great left or a great right, you will still not have any issues. Second shot here, it comes into play where a power 2 ball minimum is very important. Playing with lower level clubs like the Sniper level 4 will not have the distance the same as you play with Sniper level 7, 8, 9 and 10. Obviously you knew that already, but that means that the power 2 ball with lower level clubs might be a little bit too little, or we have to use a little top spin in this situation. I'm trying to play this shot without any spin because I don't like to come in with top spin, especially when we are so far behind the pin, or like not far before the pin, and that's going to be difficult to be able to read how far and how fast this ball is going to come in. Unfortunately, as you can see, we are coming basically right at pin as a start, but then we turn left because we don't have much speed. No elevation for the second shot, but really have that in mind. A little bit of top spin if you do have lower level clubs, or that you play with a power 3 ball from start. Hole number 7 is going to be a tricky one, and especially when we're playing with power 1, power 0 balls. And the thing that I'm going to do here is that I'm going to try to find a spot where we can play without going into overpower, and obviously on not have to do any curl and stuff like that. I'm using 2.5 bar side spin to the right and 2 bars of top spin. And the thing that I would like to change here is that I would like us first and foremost to back up a little bit. We don't have to start that high up. But if we're going to start that high up, we need to reduce the top spin. Because you're going to notice that we are going to catch a glitch there on the green, which is possible to catch no matter what type of adjustment you are having. Just need to make sure to be a little bit lucky from time to time. We're coming in nicely, but coming in way too hot because we catch that little cannon glitch. So, the thing that I would do, I would start at the same spot that we're having now, actually. Plus 3 yard mark, and then use 1.5 bars topspin instead of 2 bars of topspin. And I would reduce to only play 2 bars of side spin to the right instead of 2.5. Very, very important. Navigate your ball to reduce the wind, but still keep ourselves from having to spend power 3 balls and stuff like that on a power 3. Sniper if you have it in level 4 plus, otherwise you play with a Viper, max plus 10. Yes, hole number 8, the toughest hole in the tournament in my opinion. We're going to play with 4.5 bar side spin to the left and 3 bars of top spin. And we're going to start in absolute maximum distance of our club. And the thing that we're looking for is to get the ball down the fairway without obviously experiencing either the cannon glitch or just getting into the rough in some type of way. Unfortunately, there is a cannon glitch here, and I talk about that one as a cannon glitch. It's like you hit a specific spot, then the ball is going to absolutely roll extremely long, which is going to be very difficult to obviously stay away from. But we're gonna do our best, and 3 bars of top spin, max left spin, max plus 10, and then you push up to max. Second shot, we're going to play with the big dog, and the big dog is going to be a club that we do play to give ourselves the distance. And in the end, we might not, as you can notice, we could have played with the sniper or the viper here, but I like to play with the big dog as I don't really see this one as an eagle hole whatsoever. So I'm just trying to get myself up to the green or to the fringe and just secure the eagle, and want to make sure that I can play the drive without any type of risk when it comes to going short. Now this one with a great ball right, obviously it's not going to be, well, no elevation for the second shot, but we're getting there. We're taking the birdie on this very, very difficult par 4. For hole number 9, we are going to play with the driver that gives us the most power. 4.5 bar top spin and 4.5 bar side spin to the left. And you maybe wonder, why did we play down there when we, in other divisions, are playing up there to the left, on the bottom left corner of the game screen? It's because we do only have 4.5 bar top spin. That amount of top spin will not make us go as far as we need if we play there before. That's why a power 3 ball here is essential, I would say, especially if you don't want to go with any type of overpower. 4.5 bar top spin, 4.5 bar side spin to the left. Once you have made your adjustment, you push up to max. Maximum distance with a 20% over adjustment. Bounce on the fairway, getting the ball down there on the fairway, as close really to the rough on the right and at the top as possible. Second shot, we play with the big dog, and the big dog here is going to be used with 4 bars of the backspin. Some levels of big dog might not have 4 bars of backspin, then you use as much backspin that you possibly can, just because we do want the ball to stop there on the green. Maximum distance with no elevation for the second shot, and the thing that I do is that I do stretch out my adjustment first to read how many rings into overpower I'm gonna do. Then I push up to max and then apply the overpower that I feel is going to be correct. This is a difficult shot to drop, so do not count with an albatross whatsoever, because eagle here will be good enough. But look, we are lucky getting the albatross on hole number 9. Thank you so much everybody for watching this playthrough for Rookie Division in the Coast to Coast tournament. And we're playing with the real tournament wins. Don't forget to get your package on patreon.com/golfclashtommy to improve your tournament gameplay today. Video sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic. And don't forget to join our Discord. Link to Discord is in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching and good luck in the tournament.